Okie dokie. You know what that means. We got another live, Friday Live here on this lovely Friday afternoon, Friday evening, Friday morning, wherever you're tuning in from. And as you're tuning in, what is going on, Gianna? As you're tuning in, let me know a few things. This is how we do it here. I'm just going to start off. If you're new here, I don't know if you guys always join me on these lives, but I'm going to just start this off. And if you can tell, this is going to be a little bit different from how we typically run these. So we're going to be talking about something that I have literally never ever talked about in this detail, like in depth like this. So yeah, sit back, relax, and enjoy your time here, okay? So whenever you're tuning in, let me know a few things. Let me know your name. Let me know where you're tuning in from, and let me know like something good that's going on in your life, okay? So I will kickstart this. My name is Connor. If you don't know, I'm Connor. I'm from Pittsburgh, and something that is really good that's going on in my life right now is that we got a birthday coming up in about a week, July 5th. So a little bit less than a week. So my birthday is coming up. Gonna be turning the big 26. So I'm super excited. I'm super pumped. And yeah, so just getting ready for that. So yeah, let me know what your name is. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And tell me something good if you want, like that's going on in your life, okay? And then we'll get going, okay? All right, let's see who we have. Let's see who we got. We got Gianna in the house. We got Garrett in the house. We got Joe. We've got, who else? Let's see. We've got Scotland in the house. Let's go. We got Jorge. What is going on, Jorge? I miss you, man. And can't wait to keep working together at the end of the summer, okay? We got Alabama in the house. We got Leanne from San Diego. What is going on, Leanne? Thanks for being here. Love you. We got Jackie in the house. We've got Sophie. Who else do we have in here? Chicago in the house. Let's freaking go. We got Cheryl. We got Ashley. We got Fort Wayne, Indiana. Leah from Pittsburgh, a fellow Pittsburgh native in the house. Let's freaking go. Arizona. Taylor from Chicago. I'm Lexi from Illinois. Can you say hi? What is going on, Lexi? Hi. We got Elizabeth from Columbus, Ohio. So Brittany's actually training for a marathon. Let's go, Brittany. I did one of those last year. It was the hardest thing I ever did, but it's literally I've never been more proud of myself from doing it. So that is awesome. You're going to have so much fun. You're probably not going to be able to walk for like a couple weeks after. And I literally never thought I was going to be able to walk after I did that. So yeah. Cool. We got Westchester in the house. Fellow Pennsylvanian. Let's go. Lindsay from Oklahoma. Let's go. We got Patty from Las Vegas. We got Alyssa from Ohio. We got Toronto, Canada in the house. Olga. We got Kate from Chicago. Let's go. We got Illinois. Juliana. Bella from Cali. Hasmik from LA. All right. Fellow Los Angelino. What is going on, Ashley? All right, I don't know if I'm going to get through these, but I'm going to try my best. Daniela from Costa Rica, Christina from New York, Caitlin, 26, from Los Angeles. Let's go, Caitlin. Erica from Long Island, Jenna from Florida. She went to the beach today. That's fun. That's so fun. All right, we got Kirsten from New York, Toronto, Canada, moving soon. All right, Jay-Z from Denver, Gatlin, Kentucky, Julio, Cali, LA. Let's go, Julio, Ohio, Ricky from Oklahoma City, Liv from Philly, Russia. Kent, England. Abby, let's go. Daughter is training to be a midwife. So proud of her. That's fun. Hi from Utah. Camden from Tennessee. What is going on, Nikki? Nikki is in the house. Let's go, Nikki. Kelly from Manchester, UK. Lily from North Carolina. Who else do we have? Brianna, she's watching from Mississippi. Let's go. We are like covering the map here, okay? Oh, we got an audit internship. I'm going to be talking about some audit experience as well, so I'm pumped. We got another fellow Pittsburgher in the house, Elena. Harmony from Georgia. Massachusetts, Laura from LA, Marilyn from Philippines, Anderson from Las Cruces, New Mexico, Destiny from San Antonio, Texas, Fort Worth, Texas, Kaylee from Indiana, North Carolina. I'll be in North Carolina in a few weeks. Francisco from Portugal. We got Germany. We got Cher from San Francisco, Raymond in Houston, Mel from Scotland, Phoenix, Julio from LA. Fun. Megan from Long Island, Marley from Texas, Sacramento, Samantha and Temecula, Devin from Arkansas, Las Cruces, New Mexico again. I'm here for the Love Island tea. When's it starting? How do I get through all these real quick? What's up, Connor? Hi from New Zealand. What is going on? Tita from Kenya. Hi from Scotland. And Peyton from San Diego. Marcello. That's fun. Marcelo from Miami. Sup, dude? Peter from PA. What's going on, Peter? We've got, man, we got like so many people here. We got Yora from Michigan. We got Cheyenne from Arizona. Watching from LA. We got Hawaii in the house. We got Robbie from Florida. We got Hawaii. Shelby from Arizona. I need all the audit tips possible. Just started on employee benefit plans. I literally audited those. Those are fun. We got Gilbert from Arizona. We'll Park, North Carolina. I'll be in the Outer Banks. Hey, Connor, OMG, so funny. I'm watching show right now from Redding, California. Let's freaking go. Another Pennsylvania. Maryland, Kyle from Denver. Namibia. I'm not sure where that is, but that sounds fun. Kevin from Dallas, Texas. Leslie from Louisville. Jamie from Charlotte, North Carolina. Hawaii, here for the tea. Kansas, aloha from Hawaii. Guadalajara, and Philly, Rhode Island. Yurdia from Anaheim. Hi, Connor. I'm Lexi from McHenry, Illinois, watching from the Philippines. We need the tea. Come out to the Jersey Shore. It's fun here where I live. Can we go? Okay, cool. All right, I feel like I caught up. Jennifer from Orange County. I want to hear about your experience. All right, let's get going, okay? So, all right, so we're going to be talking about something fun here. And I appreciate everyone that let me know where you're from. And thank you for letting me know, like, you know, where you're from and something good that's going on in your life right now, okay? All right, so we're going to be getting into some tea, some juicy tea today. And I have literally never talked about this because it wasn't my time to talk about it up until today. So this is literally a long time coming, and ever since I got into this flow of doing my lives every single Friday, this is like week 22 in a row that I've been doing these. So we've been doing this for about 5 months, almost 6 months in a row, every Friday. I figured why not just come on and do like a little story time, okay? So some of these are gonna be like you're just getting to know me a little bit more on these Friday lives because I just want to like do that, and I feel like it's a cool way to like connect with you guys. And what we're gonna be talking about right here is a big and important part of my story, and I feel like I want to just let you guys in a little bit and know some details behind it. Okay. All right. So this really came up. I was like thinking like of an idea of what to like make this live today for, and I was like, why don't I just talk about literally from how most of my people that are here like know me from. I know like, and honestly, in a perfect world, like ideally, like that's changing, and I'm proud of that because it speaks to like the work that I'm doing like after all of this. So yeah. All right. So this really came up from like a conversation I was having with my best friend a couple days ago, and she was I don't know how we got on the topic, but she was like, what is the most surprising, I think I asked her this, I was like, what is the most surprising thing about me, like that totally surprised you, like whenever we got to know each other more? And like she asked me that, and like we were just talking about it, and she was like, probably the most surprising thing about you is the fact that like you did Love Island. And I was like, you know what? I think that's probably like what I would say about myself. It's probably the most surprising thing that I've ever done. And so I wanted to speak a little bit more on that. And hopefully like this is like fun. This is entertaining. And I think the reason, like I said, like the reason I didn't really talk about this a whole lot was because that's not my play on social media anymore. Like most people don't even know that this happened because it's not on my like bio. It's not like anywhere to be found on my social media. So like that's not who I am anymore. Like I'm not like this. I'm a fitness coach. Like I coach people helping change their physiques, helping change their mindsets, and everything that comes with that. So that's who I am now. I'm not this influencer person that did this thing and then is going to sort of try and like be this influencer and post all these pictures from doing that. I think I did that for a time because I didn't really know how to like use this social media game. But that's not who I am anymore. I am a fitness coach. I'm Connor Trott, fitness coach. And that's how my content is. That's how all my clients know me. Like most of my clients, some of my clients don't even know that I did this. So this is probably gonna be the first time that they see this. So yeah, we're just gonna talk a little bit about that, okay? As far as this being the most surprising thing about me, as far as this being the most surprising thing about me, to my friends, like that I meet, nowadays. And yeah, let's get into it, okay? So I want to kind of start this like story time with taking you guys back to also just to preface this happened 3 years ago. So this is a minute ago, like a really long freaking minute ago to whenever this happened, but it just recently came on Netflix. So I figured, like, why not talk about it now, okay? So this was 3 years ago, and I want to bring you back to like right before all of this happened. And so this was sort of like right in the middle of COVID, like right when COVID happened, okay? And this is who Connor Trott was prior to like all of this, okay? So I was in grad school, COVID happened, we went all online. I was the accounting tutor. I was in grad school getting my master's degree for accounting to get my CPA license. So I had enough college credits to get my CPA license. And I was finishing that process out. If you want to work together, if you want to work with me as a fitness coach, then there's a link in my bio. Fill that out and I'll get in touch with you, okay? So we got Brandy in the house. What's going on, Brandy? And so, yeah, just to continue on, I was like finishing grad school. I was Connor Trott, the accounting tutor that sat on floor 4 3 days of the week for 5 hours, helping all of my undergrad accounting students in their financial accounting class, managerial accounting classes, cost accounting classes, intermediate accounting classes. That's who I was. Like, I was hardcore Connor Trott, the accountant. I was like, helping younger undergraduate students with learning how to do accounting in their classes. And I was literally getting paid like $10 an hour to do this for like 15 hours a week on the side of just doing grad school. And I was like, sure, like, let's do it. So that's who I was, right? Like that was my play. I was like never going to leave Pittsburgh. I was going to live in Pittsburgh for the rest of my life. I was going to work at a CPA firm after school. And that was my game plan, like going for the rest of my life, right? And it was like and I was like super into like my personal finances, and like I was like pretty nerdy, like literally. So that was like the background of all this. So like essentially a lot of things just lined up like in perfect place that this all happened. So essentially COVID happened, all of my classes went online. I started living back home with my mom's house. And still doing my tutoring. Like I'd still have like Zoom sessions with my accounting students to like tutor them and help them like pass their exams like online and stuff, which is kind of cool. Like it was kind of cool. And then ultimately graduated with my master's, and I had a free summer. I had this like entire free summer where I was not doing a damn thing. Like I wasn't doing a damn thing. I was going to work I had been working at a GNC store all throughout college, every weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Cause I loved fitness. I loved learning more about health and wellness, and like I loved all of that. So I was Connor the accountant, and I was also Connor Trott, who worked at a GNC store in Pittsburgh, in Wexford, every single weekend. And that's who like people knew me as. Like that's how my friends knew me as. Like no one else like knew who I was. I was pretty like really, really like reserved. I was really like shy. I didn't like go out really that much. So that's who I was, right? And so like I had this like free summer. I wasn't starting at my accounting firm until it was supposed to be September of that year. So I had like 4 months, like a summer, just to like work at GNC more, save up some money, and not like just have fun, you know what I mean? And like, so I remember sitting on the couch at my mom's house Friday night. And at the time, this Instagram you see right now, my username actually used to be different. So my username used to be Trott Fit. So it used to be Trott Fit. That was my username. If anyone is still here, is an OG, followed me back then. And I would just post like fitness tips, workouts, and random things like related to fitness and stuff, right? So that's how I used Instagram. That's how I used social media. I didn't have any social media in high school. I wasn't like this social media like savvy person. Like I was like, whenever I was with my friends, like we didn't even like look at our phones. Like we were super present. We had the best time. I had the best friends when I was in high school, when I was in college, and like I just started getting onto like social media like in college with my fitness Instagram. So basically I got a DM one like Friday night. I was not doing anything on this Friday night, which was most nights to be honest and to be fair. But I got this DM from this stranger like in my requests, and it was something along the lines of like a casting producer like reaching out to see if I was interested in doing this show, right? And I was like, what the heck? Like I just thought it was a scammer or something, right? So I thought it was like this scammer. I wasn't gonna like reply to them. Like I don't really do that because I was like literally terrified that my account would get taken over. And I was like, why don't I just respond back? And he like immediately texted me back and he's like, hey, you want to just hop on the phone and we can kind of hash out the details. And I was like still kind of skeptical, and I'm like, I'm not doing anything else. I might as well just like talk to this man over the phone. It was like so random, and it was like it ended up being literally legit. And pretty much, I had like these, next rounds of like interviews to like do this reality TV show. And so within a month, like I kid you not, of getting that DM, I flew out to Las Vegas to hopefully get the chance to do this show, because I wasn't doing anything else in my life. Literally, I was going to work at GNC until my start date at like my accounting firm at Deloitte back in Pittsburgh. And that was like the game plan. Like that was what I was going to do. And that all changed from that one Friday night, and I got that DM from that random stranger that I thought was like this scammer. And I just so happened to pick up the phone, and it was legit. Did a couple interviews over Zoom with people, and they were like, all right, this dude's like totally sort of normal, okay? And within a month, I flew out they filmed the show in Las Vegas, and yeah, so that's just like the background basically. And one other kind of like super like blessing, ironic thing that happened in the interim was that my start date got pushed back from September of 2020 to December. And I was like, half of my class started in September, half of my other starting class started in December. I was a part of the other half that started in December. So if I was going to start in September, I don't know if I would have like taken this up, because I was someone that like if I had one excuse not to do something like this, I was going to say, oh, I can't do something like this. I like, I'm career goal oriented. I'm career focused. I'm getting my CPA license. I can't go and do this, whatever this is, right? Like I was someone that was like looking for excuses not to do this. Okay. So like, I just want to preface all that with that. And so, I just didn't have any excuses like not to do this. So I said, I had no excuse to say no. And I just like did it. And so, that was just like what I wanted to start off with. And so, I flew out to Las Vegas, and for a month, it was, it was just the craziest mind-blowing thing. I don't speak about this because it just sounds so, like, I don't know, it sounds very pretentious. It sounds very shallow. And that's not like ever who I have ever been to, be. But like, if I know like I'm talking about everything here, so like I'll just say it. Like when we got there, I'd never been to Vegas before in my entire life. This was like in the middle of COVID. I got picked up by a chauffeur in a limo, and they drove me. It was like out of a fairy tale. Like, dude, like I was like, what the hell? Like, you're gonna drive me to a hotel and we're gonna stay here in Las Vegas, in this like freaking limo. And so that was like the first mind blowing thing. Basically, so I got there, I had to like, they paired me up with like another, they gave you like a chaperone kind of person, and I was with my chaperone. I had my own hotel room, and the chaperone was like right next to me, and he was also from Pittsburgh, and like we literally became best freaking friends. So I'm on a plane 30K feet in the air right now. Let's go. Let's go. So this, his name was Eric. So Eric is my boy. And you had to be like, it was very restricted. It was very like, you couldn't like see any of the other cast. I'm actually going to speak on things relating to this that I've never said ever on social media regarding this. So like, this is like an exclusive drop right here. I've told like my family and my friends about this, but like that are curious, want to know, but you're not allowed to see the other cast members. Like they wanted to be super natural. They wanted to seem super like legitimate as best as can, which they did a damn good job about, because you have your chaperone and you're not like, you cannot leave your room for that month. Like we had to do COVID tests every week. And so you could only leave your room with your chaperone like at designated times, right? Like you couldn't even go to the gym every day. I could only go to the gym like every other day. I could only go to the pool like every other like third day or something. So basically this is like the first thing that I wanted to say was that I almost like went home prior to like all of this, and you don't even know if you're gonna like actually be on the show. Like you still have to do some interviews, and you'd have to do like one or a couple more interviews when we got to Las Vegas. And it was like 4 weeks, and I had my phone. You have your like all your electronics up until they announce like the starting cast of people. And it wasn't that bad. Like I still had my phone and stuff. I missed my like family vacation that we always go on, that I'm going on in a few weeks. So like that like wasn't the best, but I just like, I don't know. It was like the third week, and I was just like, you know what, like, is this even worth it? Like, is this even worth doing all of this? Like, I don't even know if I'm gonna like be on this show. I don't even know like what this is all about. This isn't what I'm about. And basically what they ended up doing was they take your phone away a couple days before they announce like the starting cast, right? So I don't even know like if I'm gonna be doing the show. I don't even know if I'm gonna like, you know, ever be doing this, whatever. But like I never even like knew what Love Island was. Like I knew like what UK was, but I was like, I'd like binge watch the US first season because I didn't like know what this was. So I like figured out what it was all about. So I like sort of knew what to expect. And basically they took our phones away and gave us these, this is like the first tea spill that I'll say that I've never said in my entire life on social media, or like, I don't know if anyone really knows this that was like on the show with me. But they took our phones away, and basically what happened was I wasn't gonna have anyone run my social media. Like they kind of said like, if you want someone to run your social media and like post for you, then like you can. But I don't know, like I felt like super weird about that. I didn't like want to like put that on my family or any of my friends to do that. Like I felt weird about it. So I wasn't gonna do that. And then like at the very last second, I was like, I basically like said like, hey Eric, do you mind if I like text my sister? Like I know you just took my phone, but I think I want her to, oh no, actually, this is actually what happened. I called my sister. Somehow I remembered my sister's phone number off the top of my noggin, and I called her on the phone. And somehow I remembered her number, and like, I couldn't even tell you what her phone number is to this day, but somehow in that moment, I figured out what that was, and she picked up the phone, and she's like, who is this? And I'm like, Tori, it's Connor. And I like was like, do you want to run my like social media like while I'm on this show? Like, I don't know if I'm ever going to go on it, but like, do you want to run my social media for me? And she's like, yeah, like, I don't know why you didn't ask me to do that before. So I'm like, oh, thank God. But like, she still needed to get into my Instagram account with my login, and I had 2-factor authentication on, which she needed. It would go to my phone number. And so I didn't have my phone. And so I was like, hey Eric, like, I know I just gave you my phone, but I want my sister to run my social media, and I don't have my phone to give her the authentication code to like verify that she can log in. So I got my phone back, gave her that, and she was gonna run my social media. So that was like all fine. But The second T thing that I want to say that I've never said ever on social media that no one knows about except for like my really, really close family and friends is that when they take your phone away and when they take all of your electronics, like everything you have, they do this so like you don't know who the cast is, okay? So, but in return, you get this like Fire Stick, okay? So you get this Amazon Fire Stick, and there's like codes. You can only watch certain apps. You can only watch certain apps. So like you couldn't have access to like internet. You couldn't have access to anything we could communicate to anyone like on the outside world. So it was such like a wild social experiment. But this is the tea. So they gave you this Fire Stick, and right when they gave it to me, they deleted all these apps that you couldn't use the web browser on, but they had like a general web browser on this Fire Stick that you could access like the internet through. So I went on this one night when like no one knew. I went onto this web browser and I saw who the cast was gonna be. Like I literally knew I knew exactly who was gonna be there, and I saw that I was a part of the starting cast. And like no one knows this. Like I've never said that to like ever on social media, and so my like close family know that. My really close friends that like talked to me about it afterwards. Like I knew exactly who the cast was, and I knew I was gonna start until before they told me. Basically, they like somehow like figured this out. I don't think they figured that. I don't know if they figured it out, but they said that they figured out that like for whatever reason the web browser was not allowed to be accessed anymore. So I figured out who the cast was. I saw that I was a part of the cast, and then they brought me down and told me like the next day to tell me that I was a part of the starting class, and I was like, oh, no way, like I didn't even know that. That's like, dude, this is life-changing, like holy crap, that's insane. So and little did they know that I already knew this, like I already knew this, which is hilarious, but you gotta like act a little bit, right? So no one knows that. I just told you guys, and yeah, so I knew that I was gonna be in the starting cast. And that's a big freaking deal, like with this show. So not only was like this whole like freaking show was gonna happen, but like I was gonna start the show like with 10 other people that most of the time, like half of them are probably gonna make it to the end of the show. So basically, I knew who the cast was. I had this whole game plan set up, which I knew who I wanted to like select. I knew who I wanted to be with. There were like the whole when I first started the show, I knew who I wanted to select. I had this like all game planned out in my notebook, right? And I was like praying to God that this was gonna be how it happened. And yeah, so that was just like one of the things I wanted to say. And then also like the day before I went on to the into the villa is I got this call. I called my mom. And you weren't supposed to be doing this. Like, you were not supposed to be doing this. And like, I would only do this when like no one knew about this. So I called my mom like the day before, and she told me that she was like, hey, I saw you're starting the show and stuff. And she was like, I also want to let you know that I got an email from my accounting firm that I was going to be starting with, and they like also like to back up a little bit. I know I'm like the worst at telling a story. Like it takes me an hour to get through, but what's funny is that I emailed my accounting firm recruiter and said, hey, like I saw I don't start until December. I'm going to be off the grid. I'm going to be off the map for like a few months. If you need to contact me, here's my mom's email. You can shoot her an email, okay? So I was like talking to my mom the day before this all started. So she was like, yeah, I also got an email from Deloitte, my accounting firm, saying that, they found out that I was going to be doing this show, and they're like, make sure like I don't like embarrass like the company, right? When I go on this show, like I couldn't represent them like nervously, right? So I couldn't represent them poorly like whenever I was on this show, right? So I was like, fuck, like sorry, I don't cuss, but like sorry, but I was like, all right. Now I gotta like deal with this and come off the show. Like maybe I'm only on this show for like literally one episode. I'm gonna come off and not have a job after. Like this is gonna be like the worst thing. This is like gonna be the worst thing ever. So I had that like in the back of my mind. So I was just like, all right, I'm gonna be authentic. I'm just gonna be natural. I'm gonna be like who I am, and whatever happens, like, you know, that's what's gonna happen after the show. If I come off the show and I'm fired from this job that I get freaking hard to get, it's like the best accounting firm you can start your job at with this company. Yeah, and I was just like, all right, whatever happens after this whole show, like, I'm gonna be fine with it. And yeah, so basically, show started, and without getting into like too much detail because it's like not that important. If you want to, you can watch it on Netflix. But basically, what I was known for to this day was getting massively dumped about halfway through the whole show. So. Yeah, that's basically what I was known for. And if you want to check out like what happened, you can watch Netflix and you can check out what happens. So that was like what I was known for. And essentially, also just to tell you a little bit more like how it all worked was like I was dumped, but like I could still stay on the show for a little bit because I wasn't like immediately like leaving. For some reason, like I literally thought I was going home, like and stuff. But the way they like aired the episodes, this is another tea that I didn't tell, that no one knows about, was that essentially like you go to this other villa where like the guys go to this other villa and the girls stay in this like same villa, and basically what happens was you had to like, we went back to this hotel. So like where the whole like show was being filmed at was at a very different hotel. It was on a rooftop of like another hotel in Vegas on the Strip. Where we stayed at before the show started was at a different hotel that was like sort of close to the Strip but not on the Strip. So like that's where the other villa was, right? And so you were placed in these hotel rooms and we were all getting like haircuts before like this other, like you were there for a week, right? It was like this like week break where all new women come in, all new guys come in, and it's like testing your relationship that you're in, okay? And before we started that whole time, I got into this hotel room and I called my sister. Casa Amor, yeah, that's what it's called. I called my sister up and was like, she thought I had like left and was about to come home because the way they like edited the episode was that like I could have been going home like before they like knew what was going on. So I called my sister again and I was like, Tori, like, how am I looking? Like, am I coming across like, okay? And she's like, dude, like, you're being really wishy-washy, man. Like, you gotta just like make up your mind. And it's just funny. Like, if you've watched it, like, you totally get what I'm talking about. But basically, essentially I got back from this whole experience and I chose to like, I got dumped, right? That's what happened. Okay. So, and that's what I was known for. I had a teddy bear in my arms, and that's what I was known for, right? So, yeah, that was like what happened with that. And basically, that was just like the detail that I wanted to go into with like this show and everything. I don't think that I was like the main, like, I was a part of the starting people, but I didn't make it to the very end. Like, you have like 4 couples that go to the very end, and whoever like gets the most votes is the most compatible, like people that the people like the most, wins like $100,000. They split it, if they want to, which pretty much everyone does. And I didn't make it to the end. Like, I wasn't there to the end, right? So, in my eyes, like, I wasn't like this, like, I wasn't one of these like main people that made it to the end, right? Yeah, what is going on, Tenshi Kim? So yeah, basically like I just wanted to say that that was like the story behind all of this, and essentially like what I wanted to just say after like all of this happened was like I said, this was 3 years ago. I've never talked about this to like social media. It wasn't my time to like talk about this, and I didn't know if like I ever was going to talk about it. But now that I've kind of like carved out a little bit more of like my own community and my own support system and my own like work when it comes to social media, like I said, like I'm not this influencer. I'm a fitness coach. This is what I do now. And I've like created like my own space that was separate, like totally separate from Love Island. And I'm not like, it's not anywhere in my bio. Like, and it's not my play to be an influencer that is known completely from that show anymore. So like I said, I have clients that don't even know that I do this. Like I have people that, you know, are here that probably don't even know that like I did this. Like I posted my story and they were like, dude, I didn't even know you did this. And to be honest, like that's how I've always like game planned it. That's been my play, to like make sure that no one like, not that like I don't want people to know I did this, but it's just been like I'm on to new things. Like I'm not someone to live in the past. Like I'm just like always forward thinking, and things like that, right? So like I said, like the reason why I'm doing this right now is that it's just a part of my story, and I want you guys to connect. I want to connect with you guys more. I want you to know like who I am. And I think like a big part of like knowing someone, like their story and connecting with them and relating to them, is hearing like their story and what's happened in their past to like get them like to where they're at today. So that's what I wanted to make this for. And just the last thing I wanted to say was that nothing, like I said, when I started this, I was Connor Trott, the accounting tutor. I was Connor Trott, the kid that worked at GNC in Wexford, Pennsylvania, right outside of Pittsburgh, every single weekend. That I'd have my customers come in, recurring customers. They'd know me by first name basis. I had my accounting students that I was helping as an accounting tutor. That's who I was. And like I will say, like nothing really prepares you for like what happens like after this. And I just remember like the first time I got my phone back, my phone turned off. I turned my phone back on and it immediately turned off because of like the number of like notifications that I had on my phone. And what was just like insane for me was I like the first thing that I looked at, I mean, aside from like making some phone calls and FaceTimes and things like that, the first thing that I remember seeing my Instagram. And so I will say that like before starting the show, like I had like been posting a lot. I had like I was like very, very into fitness. My name was Trott Fit. It was different. Like it was very, I mean, it's not different actually from what I do now, but basically like my Instagram was decent. Like it was like 25K. Like it was a solid like platform, and I was growing it like day by day, you know? I looked at my Instagram and it doubled. Like it was at 50K, and I was like, holy crap. Like this whole like influence thing is like totally legit. Like I saw this and I'm like, my sister had made like a few posts and stuff. She didn't go like crazy or anything, which I didn't want her to. But I saw my phone for the first time and it was at 50K on Instagram. And so I was like, all right, we got like two times more people that now follow me. What am I going to do about this, right? But I wanted to say that like every day after I got off the show, my like Instagram kept growing and growing and growing by like 1, 2, 3, 5K per day. And it was just like, it was insane to me. And I got messages from people that I never in my life would thought I would get messages from. Like people that I super look up to in the fitness world. Like some of my, like, it's just insane, right? Via like Instagram DMs, right? And I will say that like nothing, I was probably one of the most like naive people, as you can probably tell, going into like this whole thing. And I got off of it, and like I said, like nothing can like prepare you for this. And I'm probably the most like, it's probably not humble to sound like I say this, but like that's like one of my like main things is being like driven, goal oriented, but like super, super humble and kind. Best asset, like you said, our Salamed. So like nothing can prepare you for all this. Like basically after the show, went to LA, and like nothing can prepare you for this. They're like TMZ following you around after you go to dinner, come out of dinner. I'm like, what in the hell? Like, this is wild. Like, I'm like, is this how, I'd never been to LA before, and they're like, this is like what I was like experiencing. And it was just, it blew my mind, right? So like, I also wanted to say that, it's not this thing that like, I think for some people it made their lives harder from actually going on the show too. So like, I'll just say that like, if people like want to do this, this like blew my freaking mind, but like, I was just myself and I was super naive and I was just like, dude, like, I'm not gonna poorly represent this super top-notch accounting firm that I'm starting at, which was always in the back of my mind. I was like, I'm just gonna be who I am, authentic and genuine, and not like make a fool of myself. And I don't know, like obviously like the cards played out pretty decent for me afterwards, but like I don't know, like I think some people it probably made their lives a lot harder coming off of the show than it did for me. I mean, everyone had their like different ways of it being hard, and now that it's like it's so far away, you know, since it happened, it's probably been like business as usual and stuff. But I will say that it was like I wasn't starting my job until December, and when I started my job, it was like the biggest reality check in my entire freaking life. I'll just say that. Harder How, Cinematic Escape. So like, it was just like if you acted poorly on the show, then you probably got, you know, I know people got like really, really bad and poor messages because of how they like represented themselves on the show, right? And I think that like that messes with your brain, okay? And like, you know, I know people that like didn't even want to like be on social media, like they wanted to delete Instagram because of it, like, and things like that, right? And it was hard to like create your own space from like, now your following might have like doubled. For most people, it at least doubled, maybe even tripled. It depends on where you started at. But like beforehand, you know, you might have been doing your thing on social media, and the way that you represented yourself was very top notch and high caliber, and you had your like thing that you do, like, oh, I'm known for like this fitness person, and that's all my community knows me for, right? And you get off of it, and now double or triple your following, and now everyone, like 2/3 of these new people like hate you because of how like you were shown on TV, right? That wasn't necessarily the case for me. Like people didn't like things that I did because I was kind of wishy-washy on the show, but I think they like connected with something about me while I was on that. So like I said, like it was also just a big reality check for me. It was just a big reality check for me, like starting my job, because I came off of the show and it was like, dude, I had no idea this was gonna happen. I have my job starting out, like, do I like totally jump ship and be this like influencer for a year and have that burn out and not be able to come back to this job and lose my ability to get my CPA license? And I was like, I'm not ready for that. Like, I'm not ready to do that. I'm going to start my accounting job. I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to figure how all this works. I'm going to get my CPA license. I'm going to work for a year. And then if I want to move and try this influencing thing, I'm going to do that. And, you know, fast forward to today, that's exactly what we did. So I'm just like, I'm proud of myself that like that's literally how we did it. We executed. It was a lot of bumps in the road. Like it was very hard navigating like all of it, like starting work. Like I was, like I mentioned, getting back to like starting as an auditor in public accounting at Deloitte back in Pittsburgh. Literally at the end of the year, you have to do these inventory counts in person. All of the staff ones have to do this. I was a staff one. I had to go into like Pittsburgh in December is not sunny and balmy and like Love Island. Let me just tell you that. So it is very cold. It is very windy. It's very snowy. And that's what I was doing my inventory counts with. So like I was like literally I had like a picture of like these glasses I was wearing and this like freaking like helmet hat. Because I had to like be safe around this. Dude, I don't even know what I was counting. Like I don't even know what this place was. But I had to go into this middle of nowhere in Pittsburgh in a blizzard to count these things to make sure their inventory asset was correct on their balance sheet. And I'm like, cool, let's do this. So I had to like hang up my influencer hat, you know, put all the deals. I didn't like get a whole lot of deals and things like that, but like I was like, that was so difficult for me. I started working 80-hour weeks. It was busy season, you know, for accounting. Just like I needed to work for like a year to get my CPA license. And we did that. I got that damn thing. And basically I got literally the day that I got my CPA license, I was going to have it for the next 2 years. And the day that I got my work experience, I left, traveled a little bit and tried to find a job somewhere new. And I went to LA and ended up taking a personal training director job, and ended up getting let go from that after a month, and figured out this online coaching, fitness coaching. And that's who I am today. I'm Connor Trott, the fitness coach who helps people change their lives, who helps people change their physiques, their mindsets, everything that they've got going on that they want to make a better change for. And if that's something that you want help with or you want to talk more about, there's a link in my bio if you want to take a peek at that. That's what my passion is nowadays. We've moved on from the accounting world. My CPA license lapses at the end of this year, and I haven't gotten my experience that I need, or it's called continuing professional education. I haven't done that, so I'm letting all of that lapse. This is my new future that I'm moving into, and that's that. So yeah, I know this was like almost an hour, it's 45 minutes, but like that's my story from this. I hope like you connected with me a little bit more, because that was a big part of my story, and that's why I do what I do now, and I love what I do now. And this whole thing changed my entire life, and I'll forever be grateful for that whole experience. Like I said, like for some people right after the show, it was, it made their lives maybe harder, and maybe they didn't want to they kind of regretted the whole thing or how they acted. For me, if you would see, like sometimes I post like nice things. I post these nice things. I post these nice things on my story from messages sometimes. Nowadays, I'm very particular as far as like posting nice things relating to only my clients, because that's my business, that's my baby, that's who I am now. And so I want people to know me for that, and I want people to, like, if they want to work with me, see the testimonials that my clients give me. Yeah, that's, but I just want to say, like, I get some of the kindest messages to this day. I have so much love and support that, like, surrounds me from all because of this thing. I don't even know if this is showing for you, but, like, I'm pointing to, like, the title of this. I get so much love and support. I get the kindest and sweetest and nicest messages from from people that follow me. All because, I think it used to be from that. And I do get it because of that, but basically, like, nowadays, a lot of the nice messages are just from, like, my clients and stuff. So, yeah. So, that's all I got. I hope this helped you guys. I hope you connected a little bit more, got to know me a little bit more. And I love you guys always. So I'll see you guys next week on Friday, and I'll figure out a topic for that, okay? All right. Love you guys, and see you soon. Peace.